Thanks for coming down and joining me in the basement today. What I've got is a little repair project on the Lionel Alco FA. This engine was produced between 1959 and 1963. We'll go into some more details about why this one's pretty awesome. But a little bit about the Elco is, my favorite is really the Elco PA, the big passenger version, which is represented here by the American Flyer Comet. And definitely second is the Elco FA, kind of a miniature version of that. And since we're dealing with Santa Fe, I thought I'd haul out the Menards engine I got, which is also really nicely decorated in the same paint scheme. Now, I picked this engine up earlier this year at an estate sale, and it was tagged that it would need some work or was damaged or something. And I looked at it and I go, wow, this is really nice looking. I mean, this is the first generation of these. We've got a vertical pull-more motor, and on this guy you can tell it has magnet traction because both axles are larger, and thus this thing will have good adhesion even though it's only got one motor. It won't be able to pull a super ton of cars, but it'll pull more than a standard train without these features. And I rock the axles back. This one does good, but this one is solid and locked up. We have free running axles up here. So we got to figure out how to free this up and clean it up. So let's get started. Oh, one more thing. Why do I have the C-cell battery here? Well, this is kind of the top of the line engine. It's got all the stuff. And I can see through the window here that we've got a relay. And on the other side, it's got a space for a C-cell battery, and that's for a horn. Okay, before it drives me nuts, let me turn off the oil pump over there. I made a little cutoff switch for that so I can see it bubbling, but I don't have to hear it. Alright, so these shells are super easy to get off. One screw in the back. Lionel, I think, really optimized their body shell attachment for production versus like American Flyer, because they got like 8 screws on the American Flyer. Alright, we just have to get this thing around the lower portion here. This has got a crack in it, which is okay. It doesn't bother me. Very common on these, but if we look in the shell, everything looks pretty nice. Been off a few times, of course, but real nice shell. So, what did I mean by this is the top of the line? Well, headlight, not all of these had it. Horn, this is definitely not a feature that all of them had. And I was talking with the magnet traction. They actually produced some of these that had no magnet traction and a little weight in the back, and they could hardly pull 3 cars. So, let's just see if that horn works. I'm a little worried that there's no paper wrap around the reverse unit, but everything else looks okay. I don't see any damaged wiring here. Motor, everything's there. Alright, let's put the battery in. I don't think it really matters which way it goes. I'm gonna put it this way though. Try that. That might not be the best way, but we'll try it. Alright, let's hit the horn. Not doing anything. That doesn't surprise me. Alright. This is definitely a stout battery holder. Let's try it the other way. Oh, yeah, that's a little bit of a crusty thing. Look, did you see what happened there? That wire just, the insulation just crackled all the way when I put the battery in. So, that'll get replaced. Alright, so the motor rotates, so that's good. Looks like we're going to have to deal with the truck itself. Try to free that up. What's the best way to free up this motor? Honestly, it's going to be heat. I think if I put a hairdryer on this... Oh! There we go. Axle's sliding a little bit. Might be that little gear right there that's causing our problem. Oh! Actually, it just started loosening up. What do you know? I just had to move it a little bit. Sometimes it doesn't take much to do this. Got a little bit of hair and stuff in there, but not crazy. Alright, let's get some extra lubrication in there. See what we can do and free it up. My lubricant of choice is 3-in-1 motor oil, SAE 20. This is very important. Use motor oil, not household oil. Household oil has more paraffin in it. This has less. Now, the main thing is lubrication in general, so I don't really care what you use as long as it's not WD-40. Don't use any spray products. Alright. So let's start by putting some oil. A lot of oil. Every time I fill it up, it gets pretty generous with its lubrication here. Alright, we'll just work it back and forth here. Yeah. Wow. That was easier than I expected, to be perfectly honest with you. Alright, let's get this motor armature apart. Okay, so these motors are super easy to work on. I really like them. First, 2 screws. This one's in pretty tight. Okay. Get that screw out of here. And this other screw here has a connection that goes to the field coil. I want to make sure not to break that wire off. Okay. Carefully pull this up. And we've got some normal debris in there and whatnot from the brushes. But the brushes look like they got plenty of meat left on them. The armature itself looks really nice. A little bit of rubbing alcohol and clean that plate up a bit and get the junk out of there. Should be hopefully good as new. Heck yeah, just a dry rub, it looks really good. Not really any burn spots on it. This is good. Take a look down in here. Alright, so taking that armature out, that frees everything up here. So we can rotate the chassis without the motor locking it up here. There we go. Get my isopropyl alcohol here. Okay, those slots look really good too. Slots are pretty clean. A little bit of a divot there. Let's get a little Scotch-Brite, clean that up. Okay, just a little bit of Scotch-Brite. Now it's looking really good. Yeah, there's not even any crud inside there. I'm impressed. This piece isn't too bad to pull out. I'm going to try to pull it out right now. Alright, here's that piece. Luckily I didn't damage it. I really wanted to take a look at that guy, because let's look at all that old grease on there. Yuck. It's really worth taking your time to clean this. Okay, that looks a lot better. And as you can tell by this paper towel, I used a toothpick and a toothbrush. Where'd that go? Toothbrush is right here. So I use a toothpick first to clean out all the grooves, and toothbrush with some rubbing alcohol to clean everything off. I also ran a toothpick through all these gears, re-lubricated them, and all the shafts are nice and free, and things are looking really good. So I'm just going to use some generic grease I got here, nothing special. We're just going to put a nice coating on this worm gear. Or actually, this isn't the worm gear, this is the gear that interacts with it. We'll put some on the worm gear too. Alright, we'll apply some lubricant right here. Put quite a bit on. We're just going to put a tiny bit on this end. Don't want very much. We don't want any getting on the armature plate here. We'll just set this guy in position. And there we go. That's how it interfaces with the drive. You can snap this plate back on too. Hopefully it won't go flying again on me. Okay. Finally got that little plate on. The trick for me was to start one end in the center, because it's most pliable in the center, and then get the 1/2 end, slide it back, and then I could pivot this end forward, get her locked in. Okay, so the brushes look pretty good. Cleaned them up. Gonna set them in here. I'm gonna do the same on this one. Then I'll just kind of tip the engine kind of upside down here. And we'll get everything together, hopefully. Come on. There we go. Okay, we are in. Get one screw in here. Got to remember the wire for the other screw. Don't want to put these on too tight, just light snug. Okay, and the other thing is these brushes have grooves to kind of lock them in. Some people seem to lock them in and some people don't bother, or they specifically avoid it. But I'm going there. I'm going to lock them in. Should just be able to rotate the brush right around. There we go. Then the spring just kind of slips right in there. I'm going to toss some oil on this pad here. Because it is to keep a little bit of lubrication on the armature shaft all the time. Let's see if I can coarse that up a little bit. So it's kind of just touching the shaft. Alright, that should work. Let's see if we can do a test. I'm probably going to have to cut this wire. Let me do that. Okay. Let's try it out. We're not getting much of anything. We're getting a little bit of current draw, but that's it. Oh, I told myself to remember to attach this piece, and I totally didn't. I didn't even put the screw in. That will really make a big difference. Okay, let's find that other screw. Black screw on the loose. There it is. Whoa. Let's see, you can tell magnet traction. Screw right there for the body. Screw right here for the motor. Now it's on the floor. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Okay, that doesn't explain why our reverse unit wasn't working. didn't hear it buzzing. Alright, let's try it out. Yeah, we're not... Oh, there we go. Hey, it works! Excellent! Alright. That is great. Ah, yeah. Front wheels need some lubrication. Oh boy, bad. Really bad. Let's lubricate those guys up. These are pretty straightforward. Much better. Alright, let's try that again. Picked up the body screw again. Magnet traction's good. Send it around the track. I'm not sure why I was losing connection there, but it's working now. Let's give it a shot. That's pretty darn good. I'm quite happy with that. Let me button up that wire. Get a headlight in there. We'll see what we can do. What's really fun is when you're working on one of these and you put it on the test track, and as the bushings and everything get kind of back to their home position, you see the amperage go down and the performance increase on the locomotive. So that's kind of fun to do. And of course, it's also kind of fun to run a locomotive around without its shell. Make it easy. Oh, I hear something. I hear something. Let's get the horn working first. Alright, so there is a small adjustment on the back. Considering how corroded this is, I might have to take it apart. It might be corroded inside. There we go. Tighten it a little bit more. That sounds pretty good. Alright, let's see if we can get the rest of it working. Alright, let's try a point file. Oh, there we go. Yep. Hi, that didn't take much at all. Get this off here. Okay, let's pull the battery out. Clean that a little bit more. I just had at least a little bit of corrosion in it. Battery back in. So the battery holder needs a little bit of work too. Okay. For that, let's get something else. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna cheat. I'll just use this guy. A little bit of sandpaper, basically. Beautiful. Alright, let's see if it works with the transformer. Okay, excellent. Now the easy part, getting the shell back on. We're just gotta make sure we don't pinch any wires. Like right in here. Alright. Flip around the combination car so the baggage compartment's in front. My son just does things the way he wants, and I don't have a problem with that. I'm not going to correct him. Alright, here we go. Hey, we got lights. Well, that was about as most straightforward repair as you can get. I am really happy with how this thing turned out. The motor is in excellent condition. There's not too much wear on anything, so hey, it's going to be a real good runner, I think. And one of the fun things about these is hooking them up in multiple units. So my son is going to have a lot of fun doing that. Of course, me too. But yeah, let me know what you think of the video. We'll toot the horn here. Makes me laugh. It's a fun little horn. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Jeremy with Too Many Hobbies, and hope you check out the rest of the channel.